Are you also one such human being who finds it very difficult to form any form of habit or a particular form of lifestyle which will help you improve your overall fitness? Yes, if you are one of them, definitely this video is for you. Maybe it's a habit of fitness, maybe it could be a habit in your lifestyle which might not be related to fitness as well. But there are certain tricks, there are certain ways, and there are certain tools by which you can generally form any form of habit. So, going into this particular episode, we will be telling you about the strategies, about the different steps and phases by which you can easily form your desired habits which will be making your lifestyle better. So, let's quickly go into this particular episode and find out what are the ways or steps. As you always know that I try to give example from my own life and my own lifestyle, in this video I am going to tell you the basic process that I followed while transforming and making myself from 90 kgs to 65 kgs which I am currently. Well, in this weight loss journey, I have learned a lot of things through correct processes and also through processes which were wrong, but I realized it later. So I talk about those things also when I'm talking about in these episodes. So, starting with the very first thing, when I realized about the bad lifestyle that I was leading and I was trying to come into a better form of lifestyle through several processes. The most crucial part which I felt that I was lacking was forming a habit or making the fitness a part of the lifestyle. Well, there lies the major issue for several people who are watching this video. If you have watched my previous videos, you would definitely be knowing that how much I have always talked about one thing, which is discipline, or about forming habits through consistency. This episode is all about explaining the science about the same. So starting with the very first point is how to form a habit. Well, there is a word called habit loop. How to form habit loop? Well, there are three parts of a habit loop as well. First is the cue, second is the routine, and third is the reward that you give yourself. Let me explain this to you. Say, for example, when I wanted to start and change my lifestyle from eating up junk food, waking up late, etc., into a lifestyle where I would be more focused towards fitness. It was definitely very tough. So I'm talking back about say 3 years back as well in 2021, that is just after the COVID. So back then the lifestyle was terrible, eating junk foods, eating whatever was around, eating unhealthy stuff in the breakfast, because that was the pandemic period we all went through. And of course, when we used to stay in our home, the lifestyle did not, actually get better. It actually worsened to some extent. But definitely the COVID period has taught us a lot of things. So what happened during that phase is that I realized that I need to change this terrible form of lifestyle into something better. So I was doing it for a day or two and I was struggling. I started with tough exercise routines, started with HIITs, started with a lot of things. But every time I realized that I was failing in that part, that is making it a habit or being consistent. So the very first thing that I understood was that I need to form a basic cue. I cannot give myself a kind of challenge suddenly which I will not be able to be consistent with. So that was the cue that I had given to myself. So what I did is that in the morning I made it a point to at least go for a walk around wherever I am. Maybe it could be for 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer, or sometimes it would exceed a bit more. But I ensured that I made that walk in the morning and I ensured that I give myself some form of reward every time that I finish the walk. Well, the reward initially was definitely by giving some good food to myself, But to bring myself into that routine, I definitely required to take that step. And that time, the definition of good food was not exactly what it means on today's date. Well, there were cheat days which were exceeding a bit more than what it should actually be. So, to start and come into the good habit zone, definitely that was an initial beginning. But yes, I went through the process, and starting with the habit loop, giving myself a cue, giving myself a small step to do, then I tried to form a routine through that. That is, every day. Every day I will take those simple steps in and around wherever I am. So that definitely helped me, and the rewarding process definitely was also crucial because it helped me break the monotony that was going through the process, because it was something new for me. And my brain, which back then used to think might be that okay, waking up late is fine, started thinking slowly that no, you need to wake up on a certain particular time and you need to go for the walk. So that is what is the second point that I am going to talk about. So the second point is also very crucial, which talks about neuroplasticity, or I call it as maybe the muscle memory. Well, when you start forming a habit, the first part where I talked about the cue, routine, reward process, your brain starts to understand that this is a habit that the person is trying to form. But unless and until you repeat it for a certain number of days, in some cases it is 7 days, some cases it is 20 days or 21 days, and in some cases it is maybe even more than that. So it depends on what type of routine you are trying to bring. So from routine forms a particular pattern, and through that pattern forms a particular habit, and habit helps you form a certain kind of lifestyle. So as I was looking for a lifestyle where fitness would be given the highest priority, I tried to change my earlier habits and bring in good habits into the place. Well, it definitely helped me. And the neuroplasticity of the brain, or what I call as the muscle memory, started understanding and treating that if I am not waking up early in the morning, then that is something wrong. If I am not going for a walk, that is something wrong. So that slowly started processing inside my brain as well, that okay, this person needs to go to sleep at this time. So whenever I did not go to sleep at a particular time of the night, my body used to give signals. Like, okay, very simple, like yawning, etc. is a very common symptom that the body starts showing when you want to sleep, because your muscles, they want to sleep, they want rest, they want the recovery. So there comes the third part. So after you are forming the habit loop, you are going through the neuroplasticity or creating that muscle memory for yourself. There you need to keep certain triggers. What are these triggers? Well, I'm not talking about any negative trigger, but I'm talking about positive triggers. You need to keep certain triggers that will make your body, your mind understand that okay, this is the step that needs to be taken. So during that period, what I am talking about, I kept certain triggers. Like, for example, I used to keep constantly checking my weight and certain parameters on the smart scale. Whenever those parameters used to go up, I used to constantly check that, and I found out that immediately those 1 or 2 kilometers that I was doing, I gave an extra effort to make it 3 kilometers on the next day. Well, these are very small steps. Why I say? Because one day 3 kilometer or 5 kilometer is not going to matter so much, but it has a huge impact. Why I tell this is because if you're doing it for 1 day or 5 days or 10 days, maybe you will not be able to see so much of a result. But once this 10 days becomes 15 days, once the 15 days becomes 25 days, once the 25 days becomes 2 months, well, you will start seeing the results and you will itself get addicted to the process. You will start loving the process so much that you would not want to miss even a day. That's where the habits form. Well, there is another point which I would love to add along with what I have added previously, which is very crucial if you understand the process of any fitness journey. You form the habit, you have the neuroplasticity or the muscle memory working for you, you are having certain trigger points which you know that okay, I need to take the action. But where a lot of people find it difficult or struggle to some extent is when they start making that accountability, but they also find that they are not exactly perfect to the routine they have thought. Well, I am going to clear this particular point today itself in today's video. Nobody probably achieves that particular perfection which you might be looking forward to on the very first day or the very first month or the very first year. Well, people who are looking forward to find that perfection in their fitness journey, well, nobody achieves generally in 1 week or a month or a year. People who have organically transformed themselves over years, their journey, if you ask them, have been for quite a number of years. They have got success, they have failed, they've got success, they've failed, and it is a process. So, the most important part in forming a habit is consistency and the discipline. Then only the habit will continue and eventually it will become a part of your lifestyle. So, perfection definitely is required. But the first thing that you need to achieve is the consistency. You need to create that set of data and record for yourself so that you could understand that okay, right now it has become one of your habits or it is a part of your lifestyle. Once it becomes a part of your lifestyle, please try to achieve the perfection. But till that point of time, even if you're 80% perfect, even if you're 90% perfect, even to some cases, if you're 50% perfect, please keep going. Definitely, there comes the role of a health coach or any form of coach who will be assisting you in your fitness journey. They will definitely be able to guide you and your process might be a bit faster than you would expect. So another point which is very crucial is that in any sports, like I have given example of this in all my previous videos, that in any sports, say cricket or football or any other sports, even in Olympics, people divide the larger target into smaller parts. And in your fitness journey, you need to understand that every small change that you're taking every day, you're trying to make every day, even that trying and the effort plays a very crucial role in your fitness journey. Let me give you a simple example. In cricket, if a team is chasing 300 runs in say 50 overs, definitely they would try to chase it as quickly as possible. But if they suddenly try to chase it in say 20 overs or 25 overs, that might cause a very different result other than them winning the match. Well, similarly in a T20 cricket as well, when a target is set, people try to divide it session by session. Even in test cricket, the same thing happens. In football matches, again the same thing happens where people divide it session to session. And if you talk about Olympics, it's match by match when people slowly start dreaming about the gold or silver or the bronze medal. So, you need to divide your fitness journey's long target into shorter parts or smaller parts. And every time you win or every time you reach a milestone, definitely celebrate. Of course, not by eating junk foods, but there, once you understand what is good for your health, you will start celebrating yourself, your small milestones by giving much better food to your body and to your appetite. And of course, you could gift yourself a lot of accessories whenever you are achieving certain form of milestone or certain form of achievement in your fitness journey. So, to conclude, how to form a habit. So if you have watched this video till this point of time, I will be helping you to brief the same thing in a nutshell so that you can easily understand and relate. So the first part where I talked about forming a habit loop, where I talked about the cue, routine, and after that rewarding yourself and again joining back to the cue. So that is the loop that you need to form for yourself. Once you are successful over there, your brain will understand that this is a new habit the person is trying to form. There comes the role of neuroplasticity or muscle memory. Once your muscle memory or neuroplasticity understands that this is a particular routine that you're trying to follow, a particular habit that you're trying to make, it will obviously give you certain signals whenever you're not following. So you need to take that cue, give yourself ample recovery and rest, and those triggers will help you and will help in achieving the consistency that you're looking forward to. But when it comes to the fourth step, that is the consistency, people often think that they need to achieve perfection from the very first day or the very first week. That is always not the case. So you need to understand that the consistency there is more important when you're looking forward to form a habit. Once the habit is formed, you can definitely look forward towards the perfection. And then comes the most crucial part, that is, if you have a long goal, if you have a bigger dream, break it into smaller milestones and parts so that it is rewarding for yourself and you don't feel monotonous in the journey. So I hope that this particular video will definitely be helping you in forming your own habits, whether it's related to fitness or something else in your life or even in your professional journey. So if this video was helpful for you and you've watched till this point of time, I would request you to please subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed to our channel till this point of time and you have come for the very first time. And if you're already subscribed to our channel and you liked this video, then do not forget to share and comment and let us know your feedback in this particular video, as we are always looking forward to get better with each and every episode from our end. And do share it with your friends who are struggling to form any form of routine in their life which are good and transformative towards a better lifestyle, as our channel is totally dedicated towards fitness and motivation and looks forward to changing even one person's life, if possible at all, and impact in a very, very positive manner. So that is the goal from our channel. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to meet you all soon again in another new episode very soon. Thank you.